Hey everybody, my name is Jared and I am a Master Mason in the state of Mississippi in the United States of America. And today's viewer's question is, I have been thinking about joining Freemasonry, but the only Masons I know, my uncle and my grandfather, do not go to the lodge nearest my house. How do I join in this situation? Well, it's a great question, and there's a couple different things to mention here. First off, joining the lodge nearest your house is extremely convenient and makes a lot of sense to do that. But you should know that you don't have to. Generally, the only thing you need to do is pick a lodge inside your jurisdiction. So, like for example, where I live, I could join any lodge as my home lodge that's inside the state of Mississippi. Now, I live very close to the border of Alabama, so I can't go across state lines and join a lodge in Alabama as my home lodge. I could apply for what here is termed plural membership and have a membership in two different jurisdictions. But my home lodge, my main lodge, would have to be here in the state of Mississippi. But my home lodge is not the closest one to where I live. I joined a lodge that's far enough away that there's probably about 3 or 4 different lodges that would be miles wise driving on the road closer to me than the lodge that I am a member of. But the reason for that was because that's where I knew people. The person who I asked, how do I become a Freemason, is a member of that lodge. Somebody who I had had a working relationship with for some time before I joined, as well as a couple other brethren. So that's just where I decided to go. Now that I am a Freemason, I'm quite well familiar with the people of the other lodges as well. But I still keep my home lodge as my home lodge, and that's just a personal preference. Now, what do you do if you want to join the lodge closest to you, but you don't know anybody there? That's not where your relatives are going. Well, you have a couple options. If your relatives are still going to lodge, they're active in Freemasonry, you could go to them and say, hey, I'm interested in joining the lodge closest to my house. Could you introduce me to somebody to talk to? That might be the easiest way to go about it. It's kind of a warm introduction to say, hey, this is my nephew, this is my grandson, he's interested in Freemasonry, would you all talk to him? And then that way you go into it with them knowing who you are, where you came from, and kind of just get that ice-breaking topic kind of out of the way. But you could just go about it all yourself and contact that local lodge and let them know. I mean, there's no harm in saying, I've got family members that go to other lodges, but your lodge is closer to my home and I'd like to be a member here, and go that way. But it may be a question that they ask you to say, okay, well, hey, you got family over in this other lodge, but you want to be a member of our lodge. Is there a problem inside the family? Does your family know something about you that we need to know? Is there a reason why you wouldn't go to the lodge that your family has a history in? And if the answer is simply as, well, I don't live where they live, your lodge is closer to my home and it's just so much more convenient, then hey, great, that's a perfectly fine answer. Just know that the question might come up. So that's really the only two ways that you're going to go about it. Either go to your family and ask them to introduce you to somebody at that lodge, or go to the lodge yourself and introduce yourself and start working that way. Your family, unless they are dual members at that lodge that's close to you, cannot sign your petition, cannot introduce you into that lodge or vouch for you in that lodge, so to speak. They're going to have to find somebody who's a Master Mason of that lodge to talk to you about getting your petition turned in. So I hope that gives you something to go on, and I wish you all the best of luck in joining Freemasonry and continuing that heritage that's a part of your family. Thank you all so much for taking the time to watch. We'll see you next time. Bye.